All right, so among many other projects currently, the KTM 50 Mini, the thread stripped on the oil drain plug. I have it all gooed up with silicone so we could race last weekend. It's not gonna focus. But it has silicone all over the inside and the outside just to hold it in. Try to get a race out of it because it happened the night before we were going to an indoor race at Switchback. So yeah, it's all gooed up with silicone. So my plan is to pull it the rest of the way out and drill it out a little bigger and put a helicoil in it. I'm gonna pull the clutch out so that I can get to the bottom of that case from the inside and make sure that no shavings stay in there. So yeah, that's the process. I should pull this engine out to do this, but it's a real bear and we're racing this weekend. I don't really have the time, so I'm gonna try to do it in the bike. If it becomes an issue, I'll pull it out. All right, so I pulled that brake lever off, not to pull the clutch cover off, but to pull that clutch out. So pretty self-explanatory. You got to pull that center bolt out. That'll get this. Actually, that's the basket. Once I pull this, it'll kind of show you. It's opposite or backwards from like a regular or big bike clutch and basket. That's actually the basket. The hub and basket both come in from the same side. You'll see the clutch stack the way it comes out as an assembly. Similar to a recluse, there's a piece on the end that has flyweights or little balls in it that fly up. That's how this clutch functions. But yeah, so we're gonna pull that bolt out of there and pull that basket and clutch assembly out. All right, so as you can see, the clutch is out. The goal was to get to the back side of that drain plug. Well, I'm in there, I'm gonna clean out the sludge, but backside of that drain plug so that I can really just so I can clean the shavings out when I drill and tap it. But just to show you this clutch real quick, I know there gotta be a bunch of mini dads out there that are nervous as hell about their KTM 50 and pulling this clutch apart because they're, you know, the generation before this had stack washers and they're a nightmare. This one's really simple. This is the entire clutch assembly. Got your gear on the back for the Kickstarter. Pretty basic, as you would expect. However, it's attached to the hub instead of the basket. It's kind of backwards. Of course, these are stuck together. I put them together when I pulled them out. And now that I want to show you, here we go. All right. So there's your clutch assembly, your clutch pack. And your basket, again, comes in from the front. There's a spacer and two bearings in there. But you can kind of see down in there, those balls are like flyweights, if you will. And they're on a tapered, they're in a tapered like bowl in this steel ring here. And as you rev it up, inertia and those weights move out and it engages and disengages the clutch. Notice they're in right now, those balls are in, clutch is disengaged. That's how the thing has neutral, if you will. So this thing has 82 hours on it, I think. Let me double check. Yeah, 82 hours. This is the original clutch. Now, as far as meat left on the discs, I mean, you can't really tell, but there's some left in there. Is the basket notched? Yes. Severely? No, not at all. We have hours left in this clutch. So I'm gonna put this used original clutch back in. I'm gonna see how far I can get it. I think I can get it to 100 hours. But anyway, that's how simple it is to pull these clutches apart. So if you're putting an IRP clutch in, that thing comes assembled. It's as simple as pulling this one out and putting the IRP in. Pretty basic. You need a T45 Torx bit and an impact. I'm sure you saw in the video, I put a screwdriver down through the basket just to hold things still and hit it with the impact. Pretty simple situation. Okay, so now it's time. Got some fingerprints on the lens. Better. Now it's time to get the helicoils out. M8125, M8125. That's standard spark plug. metric. So you can get these things on Amazon. I mean, if you buy the actual helicoil brand, they're 50 bucks a set. But this is, I mean, Chinese billet tools, but it's literally just a set of threads. This thing is torqued to 14 Newton meters. It doesn't need to be NASA grade. Comes in a nice little metal case, which is nice. The helicoil stuff comes in plastic. And it comes with the full rig, the whole getup, everything you need to do an M12 by 1.5 set of threads. So I'm gonna just check with the drain plug real quick and make sure that's what it is. Pretty sure that's what it is, sure is. So when you put these in, these helicoils in, see that piece there that's sticking out the bottom? That's for the inserting tool that you thread it in with. It holds it so you can spin it. The other nice thing about being able to get to the back side of that hole is now I can go in there, you can see where it's like perforated there. You can get that, grab that with a pair of needle nose and pop the thread, that end off, so you can put the drain plug in it, or a bolt that doesn't, you know, this doesn't go to the bottom of the hole in other applications. But yeah, pretty basic setup, really simple. This little kit was 20 bucks I think on Amazon for that, this M12 by 1.5. Has your Allen wrench to adjust your collar to set your depth. So it'll stop you when you get to the depth you want to be. So I will set that. I mean, that's not where it's going to be set, but just to show you, has the tap and the drill bit. That's aluminum, so even if this drill bit stinks, it should be able to get down through it pretty quick and easy. The other key here is you want to use a very strong Loctite when you set these. Probably red Loctite when you set these in, the threads, when you thread this in, that way it stays put. So the next time you do a oil change and you back that drain plug out, it doesn't pull the threads. Now I see why that collar was up there. So it fits in its little case. Let me see if I have some. I don't think I have red Loctite, which stinks. But I gotta take this to work in the morning and hit the bench grinder with the wire wheel, because the silicone I put inside and out to get it to stick to race it last weekend is all over it, and I want that gone because that looks like crap. Same thing with the copper washer. I could just replace this crush washer because this thing has had, actually I am going to, that thing is smushed. This thing's had a boatload of oil changes done in 82 hours. I bet that literally equals 160 oil changes, because, well, I guess maybe not. It probably works out because on race days or race nights, the thing only gets 20 minutes of riding on an oil change. But on practice days, it might get a couple hours of track time. So easily over 100 hours or 100 oil changes this thing's had before it pulled the threads. And again, I torqued the drain bolt to 14 Newton meters every oil change religiously with a digital snap-on torque wrench. Like, it's accurate. So yeah, just in and out on that drain plug, pulled the threads. Luckily, didn't hurt the drain plug, so I'm gonna reuse that, but clean it up. I will replace this crush washer. I have them, so I don't have to worry about that. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into it tonight because I'm gonna get red Loctite before I do, but as you can see, pretty simple process. All right, so first things first, let's drill that out. And come through it. Let's look around from the back side. Yep. Looks good. And this is why I pulled that clutch out. Otherwise, how would you get all those shavings out of there? Next step is obviously tap it. Rather than put a tap handle on this, I have tap sockets. Find the one that fits. There we go. I think Lyle makes these, or OTC. Of course, it doesn't say on them. It's number 8. Let's grab a solid handle through this ratchet. And an extension so we can get back from the case, or from the frame. 6-inch extension. extension nuts over there on the ratchet, so we'll roll with this. I guess we're gonna go in dry, see how it goes. Clear out the threads. Mostly it's going smooth with very little effort. So I think we're okay to not have the oil. Plus everything in there is kind of soaked in ATF. Guessing we bottomed out. Sure enough. All right. Back that back out. Blow the shavings out. Put the threads in. They look good. Again, I don't know if you can see the shavings everywhere. I'm gonna blow them out real quick. Much better. All right, so now you take your insert, you set your depth on this tool to hold it. I don't think we're gonna be able to do that. Maybe we will. I hope this goes in there deep enough. So we'll find out in a minute. The other thing I'm gonna do is cover that threaded insert in red Loctite so it never moves. So a little bit of red Loctite. And then I'll let that set up overnight before I put a drain bolt in it. Or break that end off. What the? Let's see, it started there. I think I need to adjust my tool. We're almost there. That's an issue. It bottomed out already. That's a problem. And it doesn't want to come out. coming. Yeah, I think so, slowly. Once I get it in there, I should be able to use the tool, I would think. Oh, maybe not. Oh, broke the end of it off. Why did it stop? I see why it stopped. Threads are still good. Lesson learned, you gotta trim it down. I don't know how much I need to trim off though. I don't really love that I need to trim this either. So let's see here. If I take 3 off, maybe. I don't know if it's gonna do it all 3 at the same time. 1, 2. I should take a 3rd. All right, we still have plenty of threads there, and it shouldn't stick out. I took 3 off. I hope that's enough. If not, we'll be going through the same battle again. You know what? And that red Loctite kind of makes me nervous if it gets into the drain plug. So I'm gonna use blue Loctite. Okay, we got blue Loctite on it now. Let's try again. This would be really awesome if this works because I don't want to buy a $400 set of cases for a bike that we're only gonna get the rest of the winter out of before Easton ages out a bit. Great if we could bottom that thing out in there. Not quite, we were close though. Still not quite, it's not gonna seal there. How's the tool stuck? Oh yeah, we're in there now. Fresh threads under the surface so that it'll still seal. We should be in good shape there. All right, so it did break off, or I'm sorry, it is in the whole way. We're bottomed out. So I could have taken like another half a thread off, but I think we're good. I think we're in flush enough or under the hole that we should be in good shape. So now we let it sit overnight, let that Loctite set up the drain plug in it. All right, it's time to put this clutch back in. You can put it in as an assembly, but I'm gonna just do it not as an assembly to show you. Very important. The spacer needs to make sure it's in and push back. 2 roller bearings. Then your clutch assembly, or your hub and discs rather. Now it's kind of key to make sure your clutch discs are lined up. It'll certainly help. Another spacer, very important. And your basket, like I said, it's external, which is kind of strange, but those notches are getting pretty significant on that basket. We don't have a lot of time left on the Mini, so I'll take it as it is for now. And kind of wiggle in, make sure you catch all the discs and the splines on the shaft. You can see the wheels turning, so I know it's in the whole way. Tight against the discs. It would just be torque the center bolt down, put the cover back on, brake pedal, and put oil in it. Pretty simple process. The threads are in. I think we're good there. Letting it sit overnight before I put oil in it, or the drain plug, but it's Tuesday. No, it's Monday. Good chance we'll be riding Friday at indoor. All right, so moment of truth. It's the next day. I'm gonna put the drain bolt in, look up the tightening torque, even though I know what the spec is. It's 20 Newton meters. And I gotta put the bolt in that clutch basket, outer clutch hub. 35 Newton meters with Loctite. We're gonna put this oil drain plug in and see if it will tighten up. That's really the moment of truth. Before I put the hub and clutch bolt in and put the cover on, I want to make sure that this drain bolt's going to tighten. Threads in nice and smooth. It started to. There we go. What the batteries? There's 22. Looks like it's sticking out though. In the back, let's see what we got. Oh wait, the clutch on. I can't tell what happened there, but it doesn't look like it's tight the whole way. Well, let's see what we got over here. So I'm gonna try to show you this. It's gonna be hard to tell. It looks like that drain bolt's not seated. However, with this pick you can grab and get in there and turn. If it wasn't seated, it would turn that copper washer, and it's not. So, it's tight. So now I'll put the clutch on it, clean up my mess on the stand. We don't ride again at the track till Friday. I wish I could get all that silicone off there because that looks terrible. Probably get a razor blade in there, get some of it off. But anyway, let it sit with oil in it. So now I'll put the clutch back together for the 3rd time and torque it down. 35 Newton meters with Loctite, so I'm gonna do that real quick. Some Loctite. Just a drop. On the bolt. 35 Newton meters. I should probably run that into the gun first. Snug. An idea. We put the brake back on. I'm gonna put some grease on that. Lucas, red and tacky. I red and tacky everything. There we go. Somebody's got to have an idea on how to tighten that, hold that. I guess if I took the other side off, I could hold the flywheel. I don't know. Yeah, I could hold the flywheel nut, but it probably would tighten that. I need an 8mm. All right, well, it's tight, snug enough for me. Put some oil in it once we get that clutch cover tight and see what we got. All right, well, clutch cover's on. I put oil in it and started it. It didn't drip any. I put a towel under it just so I know for sure if it drips. But yeah, it's Tuesday. We're gonna ride Friday indoors at Switchback, so hopefully we're good. I think the helicoil fixed it. If you have any questions or if you're gonna do this, I mean, I know I find YouTube videos by typing in issues sometimes that I have. If anybody uses this same helicoil kit off Amazon, it's 20 bucks I think. If you're gonna use the same helicoil kit, you gotta take 3 full rings off of the front side of that helicoil. I took about 3 1/4, 3 1/2. You're safe, but if you leave it whole, it'll bottom out in the case before this top ends up flush with the case. So yeah, 3 1/2 full rings cut off of it with a pair of side cutters before you put it in. You'll be good to go. This is the Billet Tools kit. Honestly, it's a really nice kit. I'm sure it's Chinese made, but for 20 bucks, nice kit, comes in a metal case. Much nicer than the actual helicoil brand. These are like $40 and they don't come with anything. I mean, it comes with the same tool and, you know, inserts, but no nice kit. I mean, you can see I have 2 of those because I needed one and didn't know that I had one or couldn't find one, so that I had it. Some other random sizes back here, but yeah, so this will definitely, it's a nice little kit and metric sizes, you know, with racing dirt bikes, I'm sure we'll need them. But yeah, thanks for watching, subscribe for more.